Whoa, no! Vivian Hawthorne, 44, white, celebrity CEO, immaculate suit, the kind of woman whose smile has a legal team behind it, says into the microphone, loud enough to turn heads. She doesn't even look at the offered hand. She looks at the cameras. We don't do photo ops with unsolicited people. A laugh skitters through the crowd. Malik Carter, 38, black self-made investor with a disciplined stare and the stillness of a man who's been underestimated his whole life, keeps his hand extended for one more beat, forcing the moment to sit in the room like a bad smell. Vivian's eyes drag over his badge. Cute. You printed yourself a pass. That's bold. Malik's voice is quiet, controlled, sharp enough to cut glass. You're refusing a handshake like it's contaminated, he says. That's not standards. That's fear dressed up in perfume. Vivian's smile brightens, crueler. Fear? Sweetheart, I'm afraid of liability. I'm afraid of people who try to purchase legitimacy with a suit and a sob story. She tilts her head. And you're giving security risk. Malik doesn't flinch. You're giving fragile, he says. You built a kingdom out of other people's silence, and you're panicking because I walked in with a voice. A few gasps. Phones rise higher. Vivian's lips part in a laugh that's more blade than humor. Listen to him. He thinks this is a movement. Her eyes narrow. This is a business floor, not a stage for a man trying to prove he belongs. Malik finally lowers his hand, slowly, like he's putting away a weapon he didn't get to use. You keep saying belongs like you own the air, he says, but you don't. You're just used to people stepping back when you sneer. Vivian leans closer, still smiling for the room. Here's what's going to happen, she whispers, and the mic catches it anyway. You're going to leave, quietly, because the second you don't, you become exactly what everyone already suspects you are. Malik's eyes hold hers. A threat? Vivian's smile hardens. A problem? She straightens and turns to the audience as if she's doing them a favor. We have standards here. Verified capital, verified access, verified identity. She gestures at Malik like he's an error message. Not attention seekers who show up with entitlement and call it investment. Malik's tone doesn't rise. It cuts. You want to know what's verified? He says. How quickly you tried to turn my presence into a crime. Vivian's eyes flash. She snaps her fingers without looking away. Security. Two men in dark suits appear too fast. Already positioned, already ready. That's when Malik understands. This isn't a reaction. It's choreography. Vivian's voice stays sweet. Escort him out before he contaminates the room with a scene. Malik looks past her, at the people filming, at the donors smiling like this is entertainment. He speaks to them, not her. Notice how she didn't ask my name, he says. She didn't ask why I'm here. She went straight to removal. That's not leadership. That's containment. Vivian laughs. Containment? She repeats, amused. You hear this? He's narrating himself into importance. Malik steps half a pace closer, close enough that the cameras catch the calm in his face. You're not rejecting my hand, he says. You're rejecting what happens if you treat me like I'm equal and someone starts asking what you're hiding. The word hiding lands. A few smiles fade. Vivian's jaw tightens for a fraction of a second. Then she recovers. Professional cruelty. The only thing I'm hiding from, she says, is the chaos you people bring when you don't get your way. Security closes in. The moderator murmurs, let's keep it respectful, while doing nothing. Malik lets them guide him toward the aisle, because fighting would be the clip Vivian wants. As he passes the glass display board listing VIP arrivals, his eyes flick, fast, precise. And there it is. Malik Carter, confirmed VIP, clean print, sponsor tier, scheduled. Malik's throat tightens, Not from hurt, but from certainty. Outside the doors, the applause becomes muffled. The hallway feels colder. He lifts his phone and snaps a photo through the glass, zooming on his own name. Then he catches a staff sheet near the entrance as it flips on a clipboard. One bold line flashes in the corner. Containment, Carter. Malik's phone vibrates, once, twice, 5 times, notifications stacking like punches. A clipped video, a caption, a trend. Then an alert that makes his stomach drop. Investor Malik Carter accused of disrupting executive summit. He stares at the screen, watching his name get shaped into a weapon. A text from an unknown number appears. No greeting, just a threat. Stop digging. You're already on the list. Malik looks back through the glass at Vivian on stage, laughing like she just won something. His face doesn't break, but his eyes sharpen into something built for war. Okay, he whispers. You want to make me a villain? He pockets the phone and turns away. Then I'll show them what the real villain looks like. What happens next isn't a misunderstanding. It's an operation. By morning, Malik's entire life will be edited into a lie, and the people funding that lie will make one mistake. They'll leave fingerprints. Malik's phone is vibrating before his eyes are even open. 3 missed calls, 12 notifications, a video link shared so many times the thumbnail looks bruised. He taps it once, 10 seconds. Vivian's voice, bright, cutting. Security. Malik's face frozen in perfect villain lighting. Then a caption that never left his mouth. He threatened staff. Malik sits up, breath slow. Of course. A new alert slams in. Trending hashtag CarterCon. His inbox loads like a dam breaking. Urgent, due diligence pause, pension commitment. We need distance until this clears. Concern. Call me immediately. Then a voicemail from his bank, clipped and polite. Mr. Carter, please contact us today regarding a reputational review. He doesn't call. Not yet. Unknown number calling. Malik answers. This is counsel for Hawthorne Global, a calm voice says. You are instructed to cease contact with our client, her board, and her employees. That was fast, Malik replies. Your conduct last night? My conduct was standing still while your client performed. Malik cuts in. You cut a clip and sold it as truth. A pause. The attorney's tone cools. We have footage. You have editing, Malik says. And I have a photo of my name printed as VIP. Before your security concern even happened. Silence. If you publish anything, counsel says, we will pursue defamation and interference. If you fabricate evidence, we will make criminal referrals. Malik's voice drops. Threatening police is what people do when the truth scares them. This call is being documented. Good. Document that your client staged it. Click. Malik crosses to his laptop and opens his chatter map. The posts aren't organic. Same wording, different accounts. Same timing. Same rhythm. Deployment. His phone rings. His junior partner. Malik, listen, the partner says, breathy. This is bad. They're saying you're under investigation. Who is they? Malik asks. A beat. Legal. Vivian sighed. You talked to them, Malik says. I had to, the partner whispers. They said if I'm connected, I'm finished. Malik's jaw tightens. So you're choosing the boat that won't sink. I'm choosing survival, the partner snaps, then softens. Please, just don't escalate. They escalated the moment she refused my hand, Malik says. Meet me later. He ends the call before the partner can breathe again. A financial item pops up in his feed. Investor under scrutiny after summit disruption. No sources, no details, just enough smoke to make money step back. Pension fund partner calling. Malik answers. Malik, the partner says, voice strained. My board got a risk notice. They're asking if you're involved in something criminal. Anonymous tip, Malik says. Concerned party. A sigh. We have to pause until it clears. If you pause, Malik says, you're not hurting me. You're putting retirees at risk because a CEO told a story with a smile. I know, but optics? Optics is what cowards call lies with good lighting, Malik says. Tell your board this. If they freeze now, they're letting a cover-up use them as a shield. Silence. Then, send me something concrete. Malik's eyes sharpen. I will. He calls Daria Quinn, the investigative journalist. She answers on the second ring. Carter, I saw the clip. It was staged, Malik replies. Everyone says that when they lose, Daria says. Give me one fact. Malik pulls up his photos. My name was printed as confirmed VIP on their board, he says, and I caught a staff sheet that said, Containment, Carter. That's a plan. Daria goes quiet, listening. Send originals, she says. Metadata intact. If you send screenshots, I hang up forever. You'll get originals, Malik says, and chain of custody. Now tell me why they'd pre-plan humiliating you. Because I'm not the real target, Malik says. I'm the distraction. Daria exhales. Okay, that's different. He ends the call and dials Eli, his forensics contact. Eli picks up with no greeting. They're pushing your profile through security networks, he says. A list, Malik replies. Do not admit. Potential disruptor. It's being shared with venues and contractors, Eli says. And someone is flagging your accounts through compliance channels. Malik's phone buzzes. Email. Formal notice. Cease and desist. He opens it. Legal language. Polished threat. Then one line like a hammer. We have forwarded relevant materials to appropriate authorities. They're not trying to embarrass him anymore. They're trying to corner him. His bank calls again. Malik answers this time. Mr. Carter, the rep says, tense. Your accounts are under review due to external reports. From Hawthorne Global, Malik says. I can't confirm. You can confirm this, Malik says. If you freeze my accounts on a rumor, you're laundering someone else's lie through your process. A beat. I'm following procedure. Malik's voice turns razor calm. Procedure doesn't choose targets. People do. I want the name of the person who sent the report. I can't. Then tell your supervisor you just became part of a scandal, Malik says, because I keep receipts. He ends the call. He doesn't post. He doesn't defend. He moves like a man building a trap. He uploads his original files into a secure vault. He duplicates them for Daria and Eli. He texts his team one sentence. No public statements. Preserve everything. We answer with proof, not emotion. A text slides in from an unknown number. You think this is about a handshake? Stop before you force our hand. Malik types back, what are you hiding? No response, only a calendar invite landing in his inbox like a velvet knife. Sender, Executive Office, Hawthorne Global subject, private resolution meeting time, location, confidential. Malik stares at it. Private. Resolution. A room with no witnesses. A room where narratives get manufactured. He shuts the laptop and grabs his jacket. If you built a room to bury me, he whispers, I'll walk in with a light. Malik doesn't sleep. He audits. By sunrise, his name has split into 3 versions online. Scammer, disruptor, liar. Same phrases repeated by different mouths, like a choir reading from one sheet. He sits at his kitchen table with Eli's forensic dashboard open and Daria's last message pinned on his screen. No screenshots. Originals. Metadata intact. Malik zooms in on the photo he took through the glass. VIP board. Clean print. Perfect spacing. Malik Carter. Confirmed VIP. Not scribbled, not added. Placed. His jaw tightens. You don't print a name you don't expect. He calls Eli. Eli answers without hello. I've found something you're going to hate. Start with time, Malik says. Your do not admit tag in the security contractor network, Eli replies. Created at 4:12 p.m. Malik freezes. I arrived at 4:27. Exactly, Eli says. 15 minutes before you walked in, someone labeled you a disruptor. Malik leans back slowly, like his spine just hit a wall. So they wrote the crime before the crime. Eli exhales. Yep. And another thing. Seed accounts were posting about you before the handshake clip dropped. Not loud, just planted. A warm-up, Malik murmurs. A preheat, Eli agrees. Also, someone tried to access your vault. Twice. Failed. Corporate IP range. They're hunting, Malik says. They're not guessing, Eli replies. They're coming straight. Malik's face doesn't change, but his eyes do. A colder focus takes over. Send me the 412 proof, Malik says. Already in your folder, Eli answers. And Malik, if you're going to push this, you need a public anchor. Someone with credibility. Malik's voice stays flat. I'm meeting Daria. Good, Eli says. Be public. Be boring. Don't give them a clip. Malik ends the call and heads out. He picks a place with glass walls and daylight, where every move can be seen and nothing can be whispered without witnesses. Daria is already seated, coffee untouched, expression like she's never been impressed in her life. You look like you've been in a fight, she says. I've been in a machine, Malik replies. Here's the spine. He slides his laptop around. No speech, just numbers. Security network update, 4:12 p.m. Do not admit Carter event check-in record, 4:27 p.m. Carter arrival. Daria's eyebrows lift a fraction. That's premeditated, she says. Staged, Malik answers. Pre-stamped. Daria taps the screen. You can't accuse a CEO of staging unless you can tie the order to her. I'm not here to accuse, Malik says. I'm here to trap. Daria looks up. Then why me? Because if they take my devices, Malik says, I need the truth somewhere they can't reach. Daria's mouth tightens. So I'm your dead man's switch. Call it insurance, Malik says. Hold originals. Publish if I vanish. Daria studies him. You're calm. Malik's eyes don't blink. Calm is how you survive a system built to provoke you. Daria nods once. Okay, next step. Prove containment is a real instruction, not a coincidence. Who inside Hawthorne can confirm that language? Before Malik can answer, his secure chat pops. Eli, found it run sheet, a file lands. Malik opens it. His stomach drops. A staff PDF from the event portal, incomplete but fatal. In the margin, bolded like a checklist. Containment plan, Carter, stage positioning, security queue, post-clip distribution. Malik stares at it until the words feel like they're burning. Daria leans over, reading fast. Her face changes, controlled shock. Post-clip distribution, she says quietly. That's your smear machine. They didn't react. They scheduled. Malik's voice turns lower. They rehearsed my humiliation like a product launch. Daria's gaze sharpens. So the real question isn't why were they cruel? She points at the page. It's what were they protecting? People don't build a machine this expensive for entertainment. Malik's phone vibrates in his pocket. He doesn't touch it. Daria's eyes flick to his hand. Don't. Then the light shifts. A shadow falls over their table. A man stands there in a crisp blazer, badge clipped, smile too polished to be human. Mr. Carter? He asks gently, like they're old friends. I'm with Hawthorne Global Stakeholder Relations. Daria doesn't move. Malik doesn't stand. Malik's tone is calm. That's a new name for damage control. The man chuckles. We're here to prevent misunderstandings from spiraling. Daria speaks, flat. Who sent you? The man ignores her completely and keeps his eyes on Malik. Mr. Carter, we'd like to offer you a path forward. Quietly. Malik tilts his head. Quietly means no witnesses. It means no more harm, the man says smoothly. To anyone. Malik taps the run sheet. Your company wrote a containment plan for me before I arrived. The man doesn't look down, not even a glance. That's what tells Malik everything. He already knows what's on the page. Instead, the man lowers his voice, still smiling, still gentle. That document is not what you think. Then explain post-clip distribution, Malik says. The man's smile tightens, then resets. Mr. Carter, you're putting your firm at risk. That already happened, Malik replies. You're putting your freedom at risk, the man adds, softer. You don't want this to become criminal. Daria's eyes narrow. Malik's voice stays even. Is that a threat? The man's smile returns. It's advice. Malik nods slowly. Here's my advice. Tell Vivian Hawthorne she picked the wrong person to practice cruelty on. The man finally looks at Daria, a flicker of irritation passing through his face. And you, he says, nearly polite, should consider the reputational consequences of publishing unverified material. Daria doesn't blink. I verify. That's my job. Intimidation isn't verification. The man turns back to Malik. There's a meeting today. Private. 2 hours. If you attend, this can be resolved. Buried, Malik corrects. The man's tone drops a notch. Mr. Carter, there are people who will not allow you to interfere with this merger. The word lands like a gun on the table. Daria's eyes flick to Malik. That's the first time the machine reveals its fuel. Malik keeps his face still. Merger, he repeats softly. So that's what this is. The man's smile becomes thinner. You have 2 hours, or you proceed, Malik says. The man nods once, with consequences. He walks away like he was never there. Daria exhales. Merger means timeline. Timeline means point of no return. Malik closes the laptop slowly. And it means the handshake wasn't the beginning. He stands. It was the trigger. His phone buzzes again. This time, he checks. From his junior partner. We need to talk. Alone. Now. Malik stares at the message, then at Daria. Daria's voice is quiet. Your partner's either about to warn you, or sell you. Malik slides the run sheet into a secure folder and locks the screen. He looks at the bright room, the people sipping coffee, the normal life around him. Then he speaks like a man stepping into a storm on purpose. I'm going, he says, because if they're pushing this hard, the secret is already bleeding. Malik doesn't go home after, leaving Daria. He goes where fear hides its receipts, a parking garage, mid-level, fluorescent lights that make everyone look guilty. His junior partner is already there, leaning against a concrete pillar like the building is the only thing keeping him upright. Malik stops 3 steps away. No handshake, no comfort. You said alone, Malik says. The partner's eyes are red, not from tears. Check lack of sleep. I didn't want anyone hearing. Start talking, Malik says. What did they do to you? The partner swallows. They had my record open on a screen. Every deal I've ever touched. Every gray area I ever convinced myself wasn't gray. Malik's face doesn't move. Legal. The partner nods hard. Vivian's general counsel. And a man like the one who approached you. Stakeholder relations. They didn't yell. They didn't threaten like movies. He laughs once, hollow. They smiled. That's what made it worse. What did they want? Malik asks. The partner's voice shakes. They wanted me to confirm you're unstable, that you plan to cause a scene, that you're dangerous. Malik tilts his head. And if you didn't? They said they'd file complaints with regulatory bodies. They said I'd never work in finance again. The partner's throat bobs. They said they'd make me the reason your fund collapses. They said you'd blame me, and then he looks down. Then I'd have nothing. Malik steps closer, just enough to make the partner feel the weight of being seen. So you came to confess, Malik says, or to bargain. The partner flinches. I came to warn you. Good, Malik replies. Then warn me with details. The partner forces air into his lungs. It's not just PR. It's not just the list. They're in motion because of a merger. Malik's eyes sharpen. He keeps his voice low. Say it clean. A merger vote, the partner says. Board level. And it's soon. How soon? Malik asks. The partner hesitates, like saying it out loud makes it real. 36 hours. The words land like a door slamming. Malik holds still. 36. The partner nods, sweating now. They told me once it passes, it's done. Locked. Cleaned. Whatever they did, whatever's wrong, gets buried under legal paperwork. Malik exhales once, controlled. That's why they staged the humiliation. The partner stares at him. How do you? Because you don't build a containment plan for a handshake, Malik says. You build it for a threat. The partner's eyes flick away. They said you were an interference risk. They said you'd infect investor confidence. Malik's voice turns razor calm. They said a lot. What did you see? The partner's hands tremble. He pulls out his phone, then stops himself, like he's afraid it's tapped. I saw a deck, internal. Your name was on it, not just containment. Steps. Malik's stomach tightens. Steps like what? The partner looks up, ashamed. Step 3 was criminal framing. If you don't comply, they make you the story. If you fight, they call it proof. Malik's eyes go cold. And you? The partner's voice drops to a whisper. I didn't know what to do. That's the point, Malik says. They flood you until panic makes your choices for you. The partner nods, desperate. Malik, please. You need to stop. You can't win against a board vote. Malik's mouth tightens. I don't need to win against a vote, he says. I need to stop it. The partner lets out a bitter laugh. How? You don't even know what they're hiding. Malik steps back, and for the first time, there's something like mercy in his voice, because Malik recognizes the trap for what it is, isolation. I know enough, Malik says. They're hiding numbers, and they're using the merger to wash them. The partner shakes his head. That's speculation. Malik's gaze locks onto him. No, it's pattern. Silence swells between them, filled with the hum of lights and distant engines. Then Malik asks the question that matters. What did you give them? The partner's face collapses. Malik doesn't raise his voice. He doesn't have to. What did you hand them? Malik repeats. That you're not saying out loud? The partner's eyes shine with panic. I didn't give them evidence. Malik cuts him off. I didn't ask if you gave them evidence. I asked what you gave them. A beat. Then the partner admits it, barely audible. Access. Malik's blood turns cold. To what? To our calendar system, the partner says. Contacts, schedules, who you talk to. He rushes the rest out like it might hurt less if it's fast. They said they only needed to confirm you were planning something. They said if I cooperated, they'd leave me alone. Malik closes his eyes for half a second. Not because he's broken, because he's recalculating. When he opens them again, his voice is steel. They're going to use your access to build the next trap, Malik says. The partner nods frantically. That's why I'm here. I didn't want to be the knife. Malik steps closer, and the partner braces like a man waiting to be hit. Instead, Malik speaks softly, worse than yelling. You already were, Malik says. You just didn't feel it until you saw blood. The partner's shoulders shake. Malik doesn't comfort him. He doesn't punish him either. He makes him useful. Listen, Malik says. You're going to fix what you can. You're going to send me the names of everyone who contacted you. Times, numbers, email addresses, anything. You're going to give Eli every trace you have. And then you're going to disappear from my orbit. The partner looks up. Disappear? Yes, Malik says, because from this second on, you're a handle they can pull to move me. The partner swallows. Malik, I'm sorry. I don't need sorry, Malik replies. I need clean. He turns, starts walking toward the stairwell. The partner calls after him, voice cracking. What are you going to do? Malik stops without turning around. He says it like a sentence carved into stone. I'm going to put the clock where everyone can see it. He walks out into daylight with one thought drilling through everything else. 36 hours means there's a board meeting. A board meeting means there are minutes. Minutes mean there are records. Records mean leverage. His phone buzzes. Daria, heard merger. Want me to pull board schedule? Malik types back, yes. And I need a name. Internal auditor. Someone scared. Someone coerced. Eli texts immediately after. If the vote is in 36 hours, they'll tighten perimeter. Expect a trap. Malik replies, let them. I'm done playing defense. He gets into his car, but before he starts it, a new email drops into his inbox. Subject line so polite it feels violent. Private resolution meeting. Confidential. Malik stares at it. Time. Location. Discreet entry. They want him in a room with no witnesses. He smiles, small and cold. Of course you do. He forwards the invite to Eli and Daria in one motion. Then he records a short voice memo for himself. 3 rules spoken low. Don't react. Don't argue. Don't chase sympathy. Trap the process. Because now he understands the real battlefield. Vivian doesn't care if people hate him. She just needs the merger to pass. And if the merger passes, the lie becomes law. Malik starts the engine. 36 hours. A countdown that doesn't pause for dignity or fairness or breath. He pulls onto the road, eyes forward, mind already, building the cage. Because the only way to break a system is to force it to operate in public. And Vivian Hawthorne has been hiding behind private rooms her whole life. Not anymore. Malik isn't walking into that room to beg. He's walking in to see what they're desperate to hide and to catch the moment they try to bury him. The address on the invite isn't a tower. It's a quiet executive suite behind a private lobby. No crowds, no cameras, no accidents. That's the point. Malik parks 2 blocks away and walks in with empty hands. He keeps his face neutral, his shoulders loose, his breath slow. Eli's warning repeats in his head. Assume audio. Assume video. Assume bait. A receptionist smiles like she's been coached. Mr. Carter, they're ready for you. Who's in the room? Malik asks. Counsel, communications, stakeholder relations, she says. They want to clear up misunderstandings. Misunderstandings don't come with containment plans. Malik nods once and follows. The hallway smells like money and silence. The conference room at the end is glass-walled with blinds half closed. Privacy theater. On the table, 2 centered water bottles, a folder placed in front of his chair, and one detail that annoys Malik instantly. His chair sits slightly lower than theirs. He walks in anyway. 3 people stand to greet him. No Vivian. General counsel, razor posture, eyes like a stapler. PR chief, gentle smile, voice built to soothe. Stakeholder guy, the same polished messenger from the cafe. Malik takes the lower chair without comment. He doesn't touch the water. He doesn't touch the folder. PR chief begins like he's opening a sermon. Malik, we're sorry things became chaotic. You staged it, Malik says. A tiny pause. PR chief keeps smiling. There are documents circulating, unverified. General counsel slides the folder toward Malik. Mutual non-disparagement. Agreement, she says. And a statement you can release today. Malik doesn't open it. Read the statement to me. General counsel doesn't blink. You acknowledge your conduct was inappropriate and that you were not authorized to engage our CEO. Malik's voice stays calm. So you want me to confess to your script? Stakeholder guy leans in. We want you to move on. Your fund is being flagged. Your banking relationships are being attacked by you, Malik cuts in. PR chief lifts a hand like he's calming a child. No one wants escalation. You already escalated, Malik says. You went criminal. General counsel's tone tightens. We are preventing that outcome. Malik nods slowly, or steering it. He studies the room like a blueprint. The smoke detector in the corner, the black bar under the screen, the angle of PR chief's chair, facing the door, not Malik. The position of the folder, centered to force his hands onto it. This room is wired, Malik says. PR chief chuckles lightly. That's paranoid. Malik doesn't look at him. You positioned my chair lower to frame me. You placed water so I touch it. You placed paper so I sign it. You kept Vivian out because you want me to be the clip. General counsel stands abruptly. Mr. Carter, you want me angry, Malik says, cutting through her, because anger becomes evidence. The air changes. PR chief's smile stays, but it becomes thinner. Stakeholder guy's friendliness dims. Malik takes his phone out and places it face down on the table, not to record, just to declare he isn't hiding. Let's be direct, Malik says. Show me the board schedule for the merger vote, and tell me who ordered containment plan Carter. Stakeholder guy laughs once. You don't get to demand corporate information. I'm not demanding, Malik says. I'm naming what you're protecting. PR. Chief's voice softens. Dangerous softness. Malik, you're exhausted. You're under pressure. You're seeing patterns. Malik's eyes lock on him. I'm seeing your fingerprints. General counsel flips a page in her folder. If you decline, we proceed with legal remedies. There it is, Malik says. The hammer. He stands. Meeting over. Stakeholder guy moves fast and blocks the doorway with a polite palm. Sit down. Malik doesn't raise his voice. Move. The man doesn't. General counsel touches her phone. Not a call, a tap, a signal. The door opens behind Malik. Two corporate security men step in, quiet as furniture. Detonation. The resolution meeting becomes containment in real time. PR chief spreads his hands. We need to document that you were offered a path. You mean film me refusing? Malik says. No one's filming, PR chief replies smoothly. Malik's eyes slide to the black bar under the screen. Then why is the lens uncovered? PR chief's smile flinches. Not much. Enough. General counsel speaks in court voice. Mr. Carter, you are being asked to leave. If you refuse, you will be trespassed. Put it in writing, Malik says. Security shifts. They expected shouting. They expected lunging. They expected the clip. Malik walks calmly toward the lobby. He doesn't touch anyone. He doesn't argue. He forces their trap to run without the footage they want. But the lobby is not empty anymore. Two uniformed police officers stand near reception, not rushing, waiting, like a queue, a perfect stage. The receptionist's smile is gone. Her face is blank, as if she's been instructed to stop being human. An officer lifts a hand. Sir, can we speak with you? Malik stops, calm. About what? The officer glances down. We received a report of threats and attempted extortion. Behind the officers, PR chief holds a phone at chest. Height, pretending it isn't recording. Stakeholder guy positions himself, so Malik is framed with police in the background. Malik looks at the officer. Who made the report? Hawthorne Global representatives, the officer answers. General counsel steps forward with professional concern. Officers, thank you. We simply want to ensure everyone is safe. Safe, the cleanest lie in the room. Malik keeps his voice steady. I'll answer questions, but I won't do it while they're filming a story. PR chief smiles. No one's filming. Malik stares at the phone. Then put it down. PR chief doesn't. The officer shifts his stance. Sir, we need you to come with us to clarify. Before Malik can respond, a voice slices through the lobby. Malik! His junior partner bursts in, breathless, eyes wild, holding a small flash drive like it's salvation. "I have it," the partner blurts. "Proof! The thing they're hiding!" Malik's stomach drops. He didn't tell the partner this address, which means someone else did, or someone pulled it from the compromised calendar access. Malik takes one step forward, trying to stop him with his eyes. Too late. A security man accidentally bumps the partner's shoulder. Smooth, practiced, friendly violence. The flash drive slips, clatters, spins, then stops, and it's not on the floor. It's in the security man's hand. The partner freezes, face draining. "No, wait!" General Counsel's voice cuts clean through the air. "Officers," she says calmly, "that device appears to contain stolen corporate material." The officer's posture tightens. PR chief's camera angle improves. Stakeholder guy's smile returns. Malik doesn't move. He watches the moment lock into place. Police plus stolen device plus Malik's team in the frame. The partner looks at Malik, horror dawning. "I was trying to help." "You were delivered," Malik says quietly. The officer steps closer. "Sir, we need to ask you some questions." Malik's eyes lift to the security man holding the drive. He knows what comes next. The swap. The plant. The discovery of evidence that turns a smear into a case. Detonation isn't the drive falling. Detonation is realizing they've manufactured a crime scene with paperwork and lighting. Malik breathes once, slow. Then he says the only thing that matters, calm enough to sound like truth. "That drive is about to become a weapon," Malik tells the officer, "and you're watching them load it." The lobby holds its breath. Two officers stand between Malik and the exit. Hawthorne's general counsel stays 3 steps behind them, hands folded like prayer. The PR chief keeps a phone at chest height, pretending it's not recording. A security man hovers near the counter where the flash drive should be, but isn't anymore. "Sir," the officer says, "we need you to come with us." Malik lifts his hands, palms open, voice steady. "I'll come," he says. "After one thing happens the right way." The officer frowns. "What thing?" "Chain of custody," Malik answers, nodding toward the counter. "That drive was handled by your security. Before you move me, I want it bagged and logged. Who touched it? When? Where it goes next." General Counsel's smile is small and sharp. "Officer, this is unnecessary. We're cooperating." Malik doesn't look at her. "I'm not asking you. I'm asking law enforcement." The officer turns to the security man. "Set the device down. Don't touch it." The security man hesitates, half a second too long, like he's waiting for permission from someone who isn't wearing a badge. "Now," the officer repeats, firmer. Detonation. Hawthorne's procedure doesn't obey Hawthorne. The flash drive lands on the counter with a plastic click. The sound is tiny. The implication is not. PR chief's phone stays up. Malik sees the lens. He decides to weaponize their own angle. "Keep filming," Malik says calmly. "I want the world to see what happens when your plan meets paperwork." PR chief smiles. No one's filming. Malik's eyes flick to the phone. "Then put it down." PR chief doesn't. Malik turns back to the officer. "I'm requesting an information report right now." The officer blinks. "About what?" "About a pre-planned removal and a coordinated smear campaign," Malik says. "My do not admit tag was created before I arrived at the event." General Counsel steps in fast. "That's false." Malik's phone buzzes once in his hand. A message from Eli. 4:12 p.m. Do not admit created. Your arrival, 4:27. Seed posts traced to Hawthorne's PR vendor. Malik looks at the PR chief. Your vendor warmed the internet before Vivian even refused my hand, he says. PR chief's expression stays smooth, but his throat moves. I don't know what you're talking about. Malik's voice doesn't rise. Then you won't mind if the officer asks for your vendor contracts as part of the report. The officer hesitates. Sir, that's not... It becomes criminal when evidence is planted. Malik says softly. And it becomes public interest when a corporation manufactures a case to clear a deal. General counsel's eyes flash. We are not discussing corporate matters. Malik nods once. Then explain why your messenger used one word like a threat. He says it plainly. Merger. A half-beat of silence. The officer's eyebrows knit. PR chief clears his throat. He's speculating. Malik taps his phone and shows the officer two images. The VIP board photo with his name printed as confirmed VIP, then the run sheet. Excerpt containment plan. Carter, security queue, post-clip distribution. The officer's gaze sharpens. Where did you get this? Event portal and my own camera, Malik answers. Metadata intact. General counsel's tone hardens. Fabricated. Malik keeps his voice level. If it's fabricated, investigate. But don't let your security hold the only device you're calling evidence while you do it. The officer pulls out his notepad. Full name. Malik gives it. The pen starts moving. For one bright minute, the room tilts in Malik's favor. Not because anyone likes him, but because a report is a footprint Hawthorne can't delete. His junior partner, shaking near the reception desk, whispers like a kid asking permission to breathe. We're okay? Malik doesn't answer because he sees General Counsel's eyes. She isn't scared. She's calculating. His phone rings. Daria. Malik answers on speaker without breaking eye contact with General Counsel. Daria. Daria's voice is tight. I got confirmation from event staff. Your name was added to the VIP board. Yesterday morning. Morning. Not last minute. The officer pauses mid-sentence. Yesterday morning? Yesterday morning, Daria repeats. And I can verify access logs if I get one more source. General Counsel steps forward quickly. Officer, this is harassment. He's coordinating a media attack. Malik's voice is steady. I'm coordinating verification. The officer resumes writing. Ma'am, you can provide a written statement. I'm taking his report. False victory blooms, clean and real enough to taste. The flash drive is on the counter. The report exists. Daria has confirmation. Eli has timestamps. Hawthorne's machine is wobbling. Then General Counsel takes out her phone. One tap, one message. So small it looks harmless. She lifts her eyes and smiles like she just remembered the ending. Officer? She says softly. We have new information. The officer looks up. What information? A formal complaint was filed this morning, General Counsel says, voice smooth as ice. Attempted extortion. Forgery. It includes a sworn affidavit from an industry witness. The room temperature drops. The officer's posture changes instantly. An affidavit? PR chief's smile becomes gentler, almost sympathetic. We didn't want it to go this way. Malik's phone buzzes again. Bank alert. Account restriction notice. Another. Compliance hold. Pending investigation. The false victory collapses. Paperwork flips sides. The gravity returns to Hawthorne. The officer steps closer. Sir, I need you to come with us now. Malik keeps his hands visible. Am I under arrest? Not at this moment, the officer says carefully, but you need to answer questions. General Counsel watches Malik like she's watching a door lock. You should have signed the statement, she murmurs. This could have been private. Malik's voice drops low, controlled. You didn't offer peace, he says. You offered burial. He glances at the flash drive on the counter. He can feel the next move coming, the analysis, the swap, the planted file that turns a smear into a case, and he realizes the real point of the backfire. They don't have to prove he's guilty. They only have to freeze him long enough for the merger clock to hit 0. Malik looks at the officer. Before you move me, he says, bag that drive, seal it, label it, right now, because the moment I'm out of this lobby, it will change. The officer hesitates. General Counsel steps in instantly, soft voice, sharp intent. Officer, we can provide our own forensic team. Malik's eyes harden. That's exactly why it needs to be sealed by you. The officer reaches for his radio, and Malik feels it, time snapping shut like a trap. As the officer guides him forward, Malik turns his head slightly toward the PR chief's camera. "You wanted a clip," Malik says, calmly. "Congratulations." Then he lowers his voice into something colder. "You just made yourself evidence." The interview room is designed to make people feel small. Metal table, 2 chairs, a camera in the corner that never blinks. Malik sits with his hands folded and his face calm while an officer reads from a complaint like it's scripture. "Attempted extortion," the officer says. "Forgery. Threats." Malik doesn't react. "And the affidavit witness?" The officer glances down. "Industry expert. Named in the filing." Malik nods once. "So they didn't just smear me. They paid someone to certify the lie." The officer leans forward. "If you cooperate, this moves faster." Malik's voice is quiet. "Faster for me," he asks, "or faster for the merger vote?" The officer's eyebrows tighten. "What merger vote?" Malik leans in a fraction. "They don't need me convicted," he says. "They need me delayed until paperwork becomes permanent." Silence. Then the door opens. A second officer steps in holding a phone. "Attorney line." Malik takes the receiver. Daria's voice hits like a slap, sharp, controlled. "I published the pre-stamp, the do not admit tag at 4:12, your arrival at 4:27. People are turning." Malik closes his eyes for one beat. "Good." "Not enough," Daria says. "They'll call it speculation unless we have the spine, and I think I found it. Your internal auditor reached out." Malik's throat tightens. "Where is she?" "Hidden," Daria says. "Terrified. She says she has logs and audio." Malik's voice drops. "Patch me to Eli." Click. Eli comes on fast. "Malik, she's real. Internal audit. She's been pressured for weeks. She says she has the server log and a coercion recording." Malik sits straighter. "That's the final piece." "She's scared she'll be scapegoated," Eli adds. Malik's tone is steel. "She already is. They just haven't told her yet." Eli exhales. "She wants protection." "Then tell her the only protection is public," Malik says. "Not a quiet deal. A recorded process. Oversight. Minutes. Witnesses. A beat." "I'll set a secure call," Eli says. Malik hangs up and looks at the officer across from him. "I want counsel," Malik says calmly, "and I want the drive preserved, bagged, logged. No private forensic team." The officer studies him, then stands. "Wait here." Minutes later, Malik is released, pending review. Not mercy, calculation. Hawthorne doesn't want him locked long enough to become a headline they can't control. Outside, Daria's car is already running. Eli sits in the passenger seat with a laptop open, fingers twitching like he's holding back a storm. "Get in," Daria says. "No speeches." Malik gets in. Eli doesn't look up. "Your accounts are still restricted. They're trying to choke you while the clock runs." Malik's eyes stay forward. "Where's the auditor?" Eli taps. "Secure call is up." The screen fills with a dim room and a woman's face half lit. Early 30s, exhausted eyes, jaw tight with fear. She keeps glancing off camera like someone might burst in. "I can't do this," she says immediately. "If they know I spoke, they already know you're the risk," Malik says, gentle but firm. "That's why they pressured you." Her breath shakes. "They told me if I didn't sign, I'd never work again." Daria's hands tighten on the wheel. Eli stays still. Malik leans closer. "Listen to me," he says. "If you stay quiet, you become the crater. If you speak, you become the witness. Those are the only 2 exits they leave people like you." The auditor swallows. "Vivian owns the board." "Vivian owns privacy," Malik corrects. "She doesn't own public record." Her eyes flick up. "What are you offering?" Mechanism," Malik says. "An emergency board session with independent oversight. Investors notified. Minutes recorded. If they move against you after that, they move in the open." The auditor shakes her head. "They'll destroy me." Malik's voice goes lower. They will destroy you either way, he says. The difference is whether you're destroyed alone. Silence. Then she whispers, I have the server log. Eli inhales sharply. Daria's gaze hardens. And the recording? Malik asks. The auditor nods, barely. Vivian and counsel, ordering me to sign off, threatening my career. I recorded it because I knew they'd deny. Malik doesn't celebrate. He instructs. Send both through Eli. Keep your own copies. Make 3. Store them separately. She disappears off screen. Seconds stretch. Then Eli's eyes widen. Received? He says. He opens the server log first. It's not a story. It's a map. Timestamps, edits, approvals, user IDs, a trail that leads upward. Then the audio. Vivian's voice plays, smooth as expensive steel. Sign it, or you won't work in this industry again. General Counsel's voice follows, colder. You can be part of a strategic merger, or the person who sabotaged it. The auditor's voice in the recording is small. You're asking me to lie. Vivian replies without hesitation. I'm asking you to survive. Detonation hits like electricity. Not loud, unavoidable. Daria whispers, that's the spine. Malik nods once. Now we trigger the trap. Eli moves fast. He packages the server log and audio with a simple cover note. Merger vote imminent. Coercion recorded, server log attached. Request emergency session plus independent oversight. He sends it to 2 directions at once, a regulator contact and a governance watchdog group. A response pings back faster than any ethical review ever moves. Emergency board session requested. Investor notice. Pending. Eli's eyes lift. They're moving. Because liability moves, Malik says. Conscience doesn't. They arrive at a neutral office where the watchdog hosts the session. Glass walls, cameras, rules that don't belong to Vivian. Screens light up with board members joining. Lawyers hover like shadows. PR staff whisper into headsets. Then Vivian Hawthorne appears on the main feed. Composed, flawless, eyes sharp behind a smile built for denial. We're here because a disgruntled individual, Vivian begins. Malik steps into frame, calm as a verdict. I'm not disgruntled, he says. I'm documented. A board member leans forward. Do you have material evidence of misconduct? Eli shares the screen. The server log fills the monitors. Timestamps, approvals, names. A trail, a pattern, ownership. Vivian's smile tightens. Daria plays the audio. Vivian's own voice fills the session. Sign it, or you won't work in this industry. Again, for the first time, the room doesn't need Malik to interpret anything. The system is confessing in its own voice. General Counsel tries to speak, but a board member cuts in. Counsel, were you present on that call? General Counsel's throat moves. We cannot confirm. PR chief jumps in on a side feed. This recording may be improper. Another board member snaps, is it authentic? The alliance begins to fracture. The industry expert witness appears on a smaller panel, suddenly sweating, suddenly looking less certain. His eyes flick toward Vivian like he's asking permission to survive. Malik watches them do what they always do when truth enters the room. They don't unify. They scatter. Legal denies. PR distracts. The witness recalculates. A board member mutters, we're exposed. Then the chair speaks, voice tight. Motion to freeze the merger vote pending investigation. Vivian leans forward sharply. You can't. The chair cuts her off. We can. Chaos breaks behind muted microphones. Texts flying, faces turning, people realizing the ground moved under them. Vivian's eyes lock onto Malik. Cold, promising, personal. This isn't over, she says softly, like a threat dressed as confidence. Malik holds her gaze. It is, he replies. You just lost control of the record. The board session doesn't end with a bang. It ends with a silence so heavy It feels like gravity changing. Vivian Hawthorne is still on the main feed, still polished, still sitting in her perfect light, yet her smile has become something else now. Not confidence, containment, damage control. The chair speaks again, voice strained but firm. The merger vote is frozen pending investigation. Independent counsel will be appointed. Full audit review effective immediately. Vivian leans forward. This is an overreaction based on stolen material and a coerced narrative. Malik cuts in, calm. You just heard coercion in your own voice. A board member turns to Vivian's general counsel on the feed. Were you present on that call? Counsel's lips part, then close. I can't answer under these circumstances. That hesitation lands like a confession. The witness, the industry expert who signed the affidavit, finally breaks. He clears his throat, eyes darting like a trapped animal. I'd like to amend my statement, he says quickly. I was pressured. I was told it was routine. Vivian's gaze snaps toward him. Stop talking. He flinches, and that flinch is visible to every investor on the call. Daria is off screen, monitoring the live stream metrics. Eli's hands hover over the laptop, ready to upload the server log to 3 more mirrors if anyone tries to lose it. Malik doesn't move. He simply lets the system do what it always does when the truth becomes public. It eats its own liars. First, the chair continues. We will also refer these materials to regulators. Any retaliation against whistleblowers will be treated as obstruction. The auditor's video remains off. Only her audio comes through, small but steady now. I'm here, she says. I'll cooperate. A different board member speaks, voice hard. We have a duty to the market. Vivian, step aside, pending review. Vivian's composure cracks for the first time. Not tears. Something colder, rage restrained by cameras. You're humiliating me, she says. Malik answers quietly. No, you humiliated yourself. You just assumed no one would ever play the recording. Vivian's eyes sharpen, searching for her last weapon. Mr. Carter has manipulated you. This is a hostile stunt. Malik leans in slightly. Hostile is what you call accountability when you've never faced it. A pause. The chair speaks a final time. This session is adjourned. We will issue a public notice within the hour. The screen goes dark. For a moment, Malik just sits. The adrenaline fades, and what's left is the weight of every minute they tried to erase him. Daria exhales. You just forced the truth to become a document. Eli nods, tired and satisfied. And once it's a document, they can't edit it. Malik's phone buzzes. Restored access. Partial. 1 new email arrives. Subject line plain as a surrender. Executive office. Request for meeting. He stares at it without opening. Daria watches him. She's begging now. Malik shakes his head once. Not begging, he says. Managing. He deletes it. Then another email. This one from the board's interim counsel. Request for testimony. Protection provisions included. Malik reads it slowly, then looks up. That's the difference, he says. One asked for silence. One offers structure. Outside the glass walls, the city keeps moving like nothing happened. But Malik knows the system shifted, not because one man won an argument, but because a process got dragged into the light. He stands, shoulders settling. Let's finish it, he says. Daria raises an eyebrow. Finish what? Malik's voice is calm, final. Make sure the people they use don't get buried when the headlines move on. He walks out into daylight, no longer trying to prove he belongs, only proving what belongs in a fair system. Receipts, oversight, consequences. They tried to turn me into a headline, Malik says, so I turned their secret into a record. Malik didn't win because he yelled louder or argued better. He won because he refused the oldest trap in America's power rooms, Provoke the black man, film the reaction, and call the reaction the crime. The system wanted him emotional, isolated, and desperate. Because desperation makes people sign papers, accept quiet deals, and disappear. But Malik's hidden strength was discipline. He treated humiliation like data. He didn't chase sympathy, he chased process. And once he forced that process into public light, timestamps, logs, recorded coercion, the alliance around Vivian did what alliances always do when the truth enters. They collapsed for self-preservation. That's why the witness folded. That's why legal hesitated. Because their loyalty was never moral. It was profitable. Vivian, on the other hand, is the kind of villain that thrives in polite language. She didn't just insult Malik, she tried to reclassify him from investor to threat, from person to risk, from truth to noise. Her core fear wasn't Malik's anger. It was Malik's access, because access threatens the stories she uses to stay untouchable. The message of this story is simple, but it's not easy. Systems don't change because we complain. They change when we document, expose, and demand accountability that can't be edited. In real life, you may not have a server, log, or a board session, but you can still practice Malik's principle. Don't react the way they want. Build receipts, seek witnesses, put truth in writing, and protect the vulnerable when the powerful start bargaining. And personally, this is a daily life lesson too. When someone tries to shame you, it's often because they can't control you. Dignity isn't loud. Dignity is steady. It's choosing the right battle, the right timing, and the right proof. That kind of strength doesn't just protect you, it changes the room. If this story moved you, share your thoughts below. Have you ever seen procedure used as a weapon? And if you want more cinematic justice stories that expose systems and restore dignity, subscribe to the channel, because the next story might put words to what you've lived through.